Warning, the following content is unscripted and definitely will offend your precious feelings. Viewer discretion is advised.
This video is not intended for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Joined the Corps, we didn't have any fancy schmancy tanks. We had sticks, 2 sticks and a rock for a whole platoon, and we had to share the rock. Buck up!
Good morning, everyone. Greetings and welcome to Zero Hour here on Mornings of Mischief. I'm your host, Stone Loki, and with me is my co-host, Zeropium. Good morning, brother.
Good morning, Loki. Good morning, everybody in chat. It is great to see you all again for your newest rendition of Zero Hour on your Mornings of Mischief. Great to see you all. How we all doing?
Indeed. Good morning, everybody. Book of Soul Assassin. Good morning, Brandon Looney Tunes fan 2000. Lovely Sherry. Good morning, Sherry. Daybob, my brother from another mother, the rooster. I say. Daybob. Good morning, Daybob. Gun Buddy. Good morning, Gun Buddy. She says morning at Zeropium. Good morning, Gun Bunny. Chris Berger, the wrench of wrenches, is here. Good morning, Chris. Mark, the infinitely tired, the Bash brother of the South, is here. Good morning, gentlemen. Adega Outlaw, the doctor of disaster and destruction. Good morning, Dr. Adega Outlaw. Daryl the Derelict, how are you doing, brother? Keely Chow, Roll Tide. Keely, Roll Tide. Humor and Waffles, good morning. Arwen Avalon says, hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all. It's vapor time. Oh, my Lord.
Oh, no. Oh, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Larry. Good morning, Brian Dawes. Good morning, Asaj Melody. Good morning, everybody. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Nearsighted Cyclops, good morning. Says it's frozen in the swamp again. Dismal swamp frozen. Gators have filed a complaint to bring back global warming. Good morning, Nearsighted Cyclops. How are you doing? And of course, I would never forget Psychodorp Nod. Good morning, brother. How are you doing? Pat S. Good morning, Pat S. Dean Krantz. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Shub. Good morning, Shub. I hope you guys are having a great Monday and had a great weekend. We are going to talk about some video games this morning. We're going to go old school. And we're going to talk about some.
The sheer irony. Oh my God, they're talking video games again. Before we get started, guys, because we got a lot of ground to cover, I am going to throw this disclaimer out here. I am going to get up and leave unexpectedly for probably a few minutes because real life is going to step in this morning. There's a little bit of an emergency happening last night. It is absolutely nothing to worry about. Everything is fine. It's just a little business I got to take care of. I'll fill you all in later, but it's okay. But I will be back. When I leave, I will be back.
If you hear shooting, and it's just Zeropium's under the table drug deal gone wrong.
The bat signal will flash at some point, but everything's okay. So we're gonna kick it old school, folks. I hope you're excited about this.
I know I am.
I am too.
Guys, but we're going to need your help. Everybody out there, we are going to need your help. We are going to compile a list of around 20 of the best NES games of all time. We need your help with this. I mean, I'm sure that we could come up with 20 on our own, but we're not going to do that. We want to hear your thoughts too. We want to hear your picks too. We're going to play those and then report on them next week.
We have an assignment this week, folks. Isn't that exciting?
That's crazy.
You're all on the project. Brian Day's Star Fox was Super Nintendo. We're just doing NES, but hey,
original NES.
Yeah, we'll throw that on the list for next time. But good choice. Good choice.
Of course, we're going to be playing some Super Mario. Yes,
I was I was just playing that yesterday. What a loser I am.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh God. So yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys come up with because I don't think we've ever done anything like this before, have we?
No, we haven't. And Mark the Infinitely Tired, Star Tropic, and Metal Gear. Definitely.
Ooh,
Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and make a list and go through all this stuff because, man, this is going to be some good shit. And I don't have a pen with me. Okay, I'll just replay the show and just make a list.
We just got to, yes. And I'm seeing Double Dragon, Zelda, Punch Out, Tecmo Bowl.
Wow. Now,
Yes.
do we want to limit Double Dragon to the first one? Because obviously that's the absolute classic, right?
Yeah, we'll limit Double Dragon to the first.
If we get into game franchises that have sequels, you guys might have to specify which one you wanna look at here.
Dr. Mario.
Dr. Mario. Wow, it's Tetris on drugs.
Contra, Bionic Commando.
Yeah. Oh God.
Of course, Metroid. We're gonna play. Yes.
Oh, man. Yeah. Metroid's crazy. You just because you mentioned, I was just thinking of this the other day, and it's Metroid is so wild and out there. Because if you think about it on NES, especially when you play games like Super Mario or anything like that, you start off your level, and where are you going? You're running to the right. You're hitting blocks. You're stomping on Goombas and stuff, but you're always going to the right. And if you think about it, what does Metroid do? First screen you pop on, what are you supposed to do? Go left and pick up your morph ball. That right away, it's forcing you to think outside of the box and just destroy everything you've learned about linear gameage up to that point. How wild is that?
And Psycho 9, you don't have to feel left out because Sega will be 2 weeks from now.
We'll do some Sega too. No problem.
We'll do some Sega. We'll do some Super Nintendo. We're going to work our way up a list. Mary says, I'm here to hear Zeropium say Mario.
Luigi. I know. I think we debated that some time ago. Is it Mario or Mario?
Mario.
Oh, it's a Mario. Yeah. Okay. I'll try my best not to say Mario. Christmas is over.
Spy Hunter with that theme to Peter Gunn.
Yeah. Pat S, I do have Battletoads. Oh man. I can tell you right now how that one's gonna go. Turbo Tunnel, yay, game over. There's so many good suggestions out here. This is gonna be crazy. So Dave Bob says
Arwen Avalon says, Zeropium, you still owe me a growl.
I probably owe several. I gave a hiss last week. Dave Bob says Tecmo Bowl. Do you want the original Tecmo Bowl or do you want Tecmo Super Bowl with the, Bo Jackson cheat in it?
Bo Jackson knows
We can do
football.
both. Bo knows.
Bo knows baseball.
Bo knows everything until he gets injured and his career is over. Also, real quick, guys, Tom Brady retiring. How weird is that?
Oh, dude.
It's going to be very strange not having him in the league. I don't know if he has yet to confirm that or not, but man, that's hats off to Tom Brady. Absolutely.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade.
Ooh, one turtle, one chance. There we go.
I like both. I like the original NES version. Some people didn't like that. They were like, it's not the arcade game. I love that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Once you get into it, you start getting items and you go through like swimming through the dam and all that shit. It's like, damn.
Yeah, no kidding. Man, see, because NES had TMNT2, quote, the arcade game on there. It was a damn good port. And if you remember, I think we talked about this quite a while ago. The first Nintendo game I ever played was the original Ninja Turtles on there. It wasn't Super Mario, wasn't anything like that, because, if you're a kid in the 80s, Ninja Turtles was your life.
Yep. California games. Mark says California games.
Loki, you can take that one. I remember that game just pissing me off all the time.
I love the surfing. I was really good at that.
Yeah, there were some great like mini games to play on there, but oh man, sometimes it just got the better of you.
Nicholas Glenn says, I can't get past the swimming in the dam part. There was a trick to it. There was a specific trick that you had to do to get past that.
Yeah, it was called Get Good, Don't Run Out of Time. It's got once you really know where to go, there's just like a certain pattern you need to go on, so you're not backtracking all the time. Once you can get used to that rhythm, you'll be getting through it no problem.
My Too Dark Side says skate or die. Die.
1 or 2. I remember that one too. I remember getting into fights over that one. Not real fights, like in-game fights. That was pretty cool.
Daryl the Derelict, the legend of motherfucking Zelda. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
With hand-drawn maps. I think I still have some.
Blowing apart, what was it? Blowing up walls? That like, God, man. Secret.
Yeah. You talk about a real life treasure hunt. Like good luck picking that up 30 years later without looking up a walkthrough for it. Because that is a true treasure hunt. But it's kind of cool that way, because it's like, okay, follow this over here, and then boom, you find the spot, you burn that random bush out in the middle of nowhere, you blow a hole in the wall over there. Yeah. Oh man, treasure hunts.
Chippendales Rescue Rangers on NES.
Me too. And you know what? Going back to that, probably 2 or 3 years ago, I don't think I could get past the third stage. It was kicking my ass.
Looky there. Bright as day. Go 13.
It's a Go 13 with what's her name? Cherry Grace.
Cherry Grace. Yes.
Man.
Now you had to have maps to get through that game. There was no like that. The maps literally came with the game.
Mm-hmm.
So you had maps that showed you where dead drops were that would kill you, so you could get through the puzzle maps.
Mm-hmm.
Metal Gear was the same way. It came with a map. Star Tropics had a damn code. You had to submerge the map in water.
Yeah, like what kind of cryptic shit was that? But that's how it was back then, because I mean, some old lady in the game was like, you have to submerge your map in water, and you're sitting there like, how the hell are you going to do that? And then you realize, oh my god, she's talking about the actual map that came with the game in the box. Yeah, I mean, that's really thinking outside the box there. Absolutely crazy. Book of Soul Assassin says Bucky O'Hare, good luck. That game. Oh, another Capcom classic. Classically hard as shit. Oh my god.
Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja. Is it Gaiden or Gaiden?
I always Ninja Gaiden. But
I always called it Gaiden because it looks, I mean, that's how it's spelled.
That's what the guy in the Wizard calls it too. He's like Ninja Gaiden. I'm like, it's Gaiden, fuckwad.
California. The code is 747. Yeah, you
That's
could
right.
you could probably just look that up now, but oh well.
Oh yeah,
That was
that's
part
Star
of the,
Tropics.
yeah, it was just part of the fun back then. Paperboy. Oh yeah. do 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 do. It was kind of
The
fun.
dog. Ruff, 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 shit.
Oh my god! And the Grim Reaper of all things.
Oh yeah.
I've never seen a place in the world where a sidewalk has that much traffic going on. Never seen anything like that. Kung Fu. No thanks. That is the heart attack waiting to happen from the sheer amount of rage. They're all good though. Oh, so many good ones. We got plenty of material to work with. It's going to be really hard to narrow this down to 5 games apiece. You know what I mean?
No, 10. We're going to do 10.
10 games
Yeah,
apiece.
we'll do 10 games apiece. And it's not like we have to spend like, you don't have to beat the damn game.
Yeah.
Like Zelda, that's going to be a bitch and a half to
Oh
go
my
back and
God.
do after all this time.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you can probably run through it on an emulator.
Oh yeah, I mean if it's ease of access, just to go back and see what all these feel like. No thanks, Daryl. Thank you, but no thanks.
Now, do you have one of the square controllers?
Oh, absolutely, several.
Okay, because
And
I've
those-
got one of the square controllers that's USB, and that's how I'm going to run mine. I'm running
Yeah,
mine right up.
I
my
mean,
PC.
you know me, guys. If you want me to actually legit do this on original hardware, I can do it. But yeah, for ease of access, we may just because I mean we're not going to document this for you. Who's going to want to sit there and watch us play through Zelda for 12 hours getting lost?
Yeah.
You know? But yeah,
And just Jabin says Team NT Tournament Fighter says we're not doing any SNES yet. That's to come.
but we'll put it on the list. Don't worry. That was another
So-
cool game. Really, really overlooked by Mortal Kombat and Killer Instinct and everything, but I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah. I loved the what was it, the Justice League one with Superman and Green Arrow and all that shit. I
Yeah.
loved that game.
Oh yeah, I used to love those cabinets, like like the original X-Men cabinet where you could get 3 or 4 of your buddies backed up there, and just beating the crap out of those things. That was so much fun. Is it cheating if Zeropium uses a Mad Catz official joystick? It would be cheating, but it would also be rather death-defying because they're not even around anymore. I will tell you this: as cool as their designs were, any single Mad Catz controller I got never could live up to the daily usage that I put them through.
Mark the Infinitely Tired throws down the gauntlet. If you're a badass, you'll play the games with the Power Glove.
I love the glove. It's so bad. And it is bad. You know what? I never owned a Power Glove.
I did.
That ship just kind of passed me by. I thought
I
it
had the
looked
headset too.
Yeah.
There was a headset that
I remember that. When you're sitting there going, fire, fire.
Yeah, God help me. Your mom's like, shut up.
Okay.
What the hell are
Mom.
you doing in there?
I'm
I'm
playing
using
Top
my
Gun."
headset.
Oh god, that was great. But the headset was cool, bulky as shit, but really cool. That was one of those nice immersive things.
Arcast says my Mad Catz Xbox controller was the best.
I got one of those too because I needed a second Xbox controller, and they were selling them for on the cheap. Gee, I wonder why? Because they don't work. Some of them were all right.
I got the Duke recently for the new
OG.
Series X, the OG
Wow.
Duke, the original Xbox Duke, but it's for the X. It's for the Series X. So
That's pretty wild.
oh yeah, and when you plug it in and you start it, it does the old Xbox logo, like
Nice. That's cool.
so it's got the old graphics like on the center graphic display on the controller. It's really weird.
Right on.
But it's got the old white and black buttons that are now your RB
Yeah.
buttons.
I kind of miss those buttons.
bumpers. Yeah.
Yeah. Having the bumpers is a lot more convenient because do you remember when you first picked up an Xbox controller? And I'm thinking, how many goddamn buttons do they need on this thing?
Mhm.
My God. Sorry. Ironcaster up top says Gyromite. Yeah, if you want to watch one player stuck on the same intro screen for about 4 hours, that is a strict, legit 2-player game. You need 2 people. Unless you've
Humor and
got Rob the
Waffles.
Robot.
Humor and Waffles says, "Rest in peace, Nintendo Fun Club news."
Anyone out there had the power? Those of you in chat had the power. Give me a hell yeah.
The 1-800 cheat numbers.
Oh god.
Do you remember those?
I remember it being expensive and not worth your pennies.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The only one of those I ever religiously used was it wasn't for it was Game Shark
Yeah.
during the PS1 era.
Yeah.
So like you could there were people that would actually like come up with codes that you couldn't get anywhere else.
Oh yeah, for sure. I got one. I still got mine for 64, and it came with a VHS with that little thing on it telling you how you can like open the game up and like make your own codes with it. Oh, it was the wildest thing.
Oh, you want to talk about the wildest thing? Book of Soul Assassin. The N64 had the craziest controller designs. The banana boat of controllers.
Literally, if you got the Donkey Kong version, it looked like bananas. How many of you enjoyed the N64 controller? Because I had friends that were on the fence about it. Some loved it, some hated it. I personally loved it. I thought it was cool. It was easy to get used to. For me, anyway.
Okay, so you remember the Game Genie, right?
Absolutely. Got mine together, still ticking.
Do you remember the lawsuit between them and Nintendo?
Yes, I do.
And Nintendo lost.
And Nintendo lost it. Yeah, they absolutely lost. So one up for Game Genie there. Yeah, because they didn't like who the hell made it back then? Galoob made Game Genie. Yeah, Nintendo was not too keen on them opening up their code and finding ways to hack your games. Which is ironic because people just do that now all the time. Some of them come hacked right out of the box. But yeah, Nintendo actually lost that lawsuit saying, since Galoob was getting access to the code, they still weren't, stealing it and reproducing it or anything like that. So yeah, they were able to get away with it.
Book of Soul Assassin says still have the Game Genie book. That was a wonderful book.
Oh man, I still got mine too. Yeah, it's a little bit outdated now since more NES games came out after it was published, but hey, that's what the internet's for these days.
Big Raj says there's a good documentary on Netflix that interviewed one of those guys that worked on the Nintendo Tips hotline.
What doc was that? Was it High Score? We got one up here called High Score. It's like a several part mini series on stuff like that. I haven't watched it yet, but it looks pretty cool.
Good morning, Ramblin'. How are you doing, brother?
Good morning, Ramblin'. I haven't seen you since we were getting our asses kicked in Uno that one time a minute ago.
Fellow Canadian, eh?
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, Ramblin', is it cold where you are? Because I tell you, I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit, but Saturday night it dropped all the way to -30 over here.
Oh, Lord.
It was cold.
Oh, and big shout out to all the truck drivers kicking ass and taking names in Canada.
Hell yeah.
Huge shout out.
Hell yeah.
I meant to say that first thing this morning and it slipped my mind. And then I see Connect and I'm like, shit, I forgot to give the truck drivers a shout out this morning.
Better late than never. It's all right. Yes, Skynet does suck. We will find a way to defeat it. I promise you that. Or if you want me to do play-by-play, we'll do that as well. It's crazy times.
I want a plasma rifle in 20mm range.
That's just what you see, pal.
Uzi 9mm.
You know your weapons. Of course, any of these is ideal for home defense. Who uses an Uzi for home defense?
That's right. Oh, well, that was that was their shot at, yeah.
Yeah.
That was their shot. Absolutely. Oh, the gun store owner has to, convince himself that it's for home defense.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you live in LA, like Compton or South Central or something like that, that'd be okay. Happy Dinosaur 8000. Good morning to you, my friend. How are you? Excite Bike. Oh, man, this is going to be one hell of a list.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I might close early today.
I would hope so. Because you're going to
get back home. I'm having to rebuild my house ever since the gremlins attacked.
Hell yeah. Oh, God bless North America. USCA approved.
Mhm.
Offer void in Utah.
Blame Canada.
Blame Canada.
Oh my God, yes, the Karate Kid NES game.
Yeah, that was 4 levels of absolute fun. Punch Out. Yeah, I'm looking for.
It's got to be
Probably-
Mike Tyson's Punch Out though, not the one with Mr. Dream.
Hell yeah! You know, I
They
don't think
canceled Mike back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, how sad is that? How sad is it? I mean,
All they did was whitewash Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I forget what they replaced him with, but that was a little bit weird.
Mr. Dream. His name was Mr. Dream.
Yeah, that's the one.
Happy Dinosaur 8000. Good morning. He said, I'm doing mostly good. Taking my dog to the vet soon to see why he's not growing hair and having enchiladas. Enchiladas. We'll be having tacos tomorrow morning.
Ooh, yummy.
Oh,
Breakfast tacos.
Breakfast tacos, breakfast burritos, breakfast. Oh, yeah. Yummy yummies. Rambling Canuck, my friend, still has all his Nintendo Power Max.
Yeah, I still got a few of those kicking around. Because, you know, we got to cling to the past because the future is shit. Oh, well, not all of it, but some of it is.
Mike could kill you in 2 hits.
Yeah.
Brutal.
I mean, I tell you, if you master all those patterns, which I have not, Mike Tyson's Punch Out is still an absolute blast to play. I was getting decent at it maybe like a year or so ago, but I haven't played it since then. So it's literally going to kick me in the balls when I go back to it. Should that one make our list? And it probably will.
Oh, yeah.
Just for shits and giggles. Life Force. That was one of those, the space shoot 'em ups that Konami was famous for. I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but all the Konami games that were made for Nintendo, all of them use the Konami code, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yes. As far as I know, yes. That's why it was called the Konami code.
The Konami code. Yeah. It was universally useful. Try using that now, though. That would suck.
Up, down, left, right, A, B, start.
Yeah. Yeah. And you could use it all the time. It was like second nature to the kids that grew up with those little box controllers in their hand.
God, the little box controllers. That's what's going to get me when we're doing this because I've got and I hate it now. There's one thing, if there's one thing that absolutely has gone miles above, and they don't last as long as the old ones do, because you can pick up a Nintendo controller from fucking 40 years ago and that thing's still kicking.
Oh yeah.
You pick up a Xbox controller, you left sitting for a week and the damn Joy-Cons are drifting.
Yeah. Yeah, how horrible. It's funny you mention that because I was just thinking, like, the last time I actually hooked up my NES and was trying to get through something, this was probably a couple months ago. But man, those controllers, as awkward as they are, once you grow up and your hands get bigger, those controllers, despite their age, even now, you can beat the absolute shit out of those things and they'll keep coming back for more.
Oh yeah, they last longer than a TV.
Yeah.
I saw one of those brick controllers go through a TV, and the controller still worked.
Yeah. I mean, how crazy is that? Nowadays, I'm afraid to pick anything like that up, like a brand new controller out of the box. It's like, oh, look how cool this looks. I can't use it, though, because I don't want to break it. It's like you buy something that expensive and you're scared to use it now.
Yeah, and if you aren't, it's definitely gonna stop worrying. I got 2 of the Cyberpunk controllers when the Cyberpunk Xbox controllers when 2077 came out.
Yeah, buddy.
Neither one of those worked. Neither one of them worked.
So it matches your gameplay mechanics as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's the Joy-Cons. They drift, and you can open it up, and there's like a little tab you cut out. Mm-hmm. And of course you've got to basically do surgery on your controller. You open it up and there's a little black tab that's connected to the Joy-Con. And once you cut that, sure, everything's fine for about a month.
Yeah.
And then it's back to Joy-Con drift and worse because then it's like permanent drift after that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It'll just constantly pull as hard as it can to the right.
Yeah, it's like
And
you
you're
get
like, yeah.
you get one shot at minor surgery and life insurance, and then after that, it's like, okay, write out your last will and testament because it's over.
That's right. And the old controllers didn't do shit like that. They worked, and you could open them up, and you
Mhm.
didn't have parts that would pop out everywhere.
Yeah,
I did surgery on NES controllers, Super Nintendo controllers, Sega controllers were the worst
yeah.
because of the pins.
Hmm.
Once the pin went out on your Sega, that was it. You
Yeah.
weren't doing shit. Didn't matter what controller you had.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. But those controllers, as well as the system, man, you talk about a system that comes out that takes no prisoners and just wants to look badass. Oh God, hats off to Sega for making that Genesis look cool.
Decepticon's Cave of Villain says I do surgery on PS4 all day.
That sounds like fun. Why do you keep beating it up? It's really good, guys. I even took a GameCube apart to clean it. I mean, I do it every several years or so. But guys, do not take a GameCube apart. It's just a world of hurt. You get 47 billion screws in there and the lid that just refuses to go back on properly. But things are so much easier. Pop open an NES controller, 2 buttons, a D-pad, and 2 little start select buttons. Problem solved.
I did surgery on a GameCube and installed a HDMI switch.
So that would be cool.
And that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely cool. Definitely cool. I just Rain Man there. Did y'all catch it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind getting
240 sticks on the ground.
I wouldn't mind getting some of my consoles upgraded, but I really don't want to mess with the hardware. I'm like, because I'm totally fine with playing it as it was intended to be played. But if I ever see one that's been modded to do that HDMI shit or get a little dongle that upgrades it, yeah, that would be cool. Oh, dude, you know what's funny? Compared to everything else, Soul Assassin that came out after the NES is the easiest thing to take apart and fix.
Oh yeah. Super
Without-
Nintendo too.
Super Nintendo too. It's just got a few more screws and bits and pieces in there.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything after that, like as soon as 64 came out, oh God, all bets are off. There's, I swear, 40 billion screws in that thing too.
Happy Dinosaur 8000. I'm gonna go get ready. Have a happy day, everyone. See you later. Happy day to you, Happy Dinosaur. Happy
Good to
day
see
to you,
you
brother.
again.
Dean Krantz says Sega made me very good at soldering to the point that my electrician grandfather is proud of me. Damn straight. My
hats
Super
off.
Nintendo was like that too. Because, okay, so for whatever reason, these consoles were not made to unplug stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they expected once you had it sitting and plugged in, that is where it would stay. If you had to move it, whatever. But if you were moving it, like taking it over to your friend's house, back and forth, whatever, what would happen is the RF switch in the back, it was barely soldered to the board.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
really-
actually had mine pop out, and one of my parents' friends was like, okay, look, they're soldered even better.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, it would pop out again. So basically, I got to the point where I was learning how to solder on my SNES.
Mm-hmm. So I'm lucky because mine never really got moved a whole lot. And I mean, especially with things that old now, you really got to be careful about inserting things and taking them out. I'm fortunate that all original pieces are still holding together just fine. But yeah, I mean, especially now, all it takes is one wrong move. And then it's like, oh, well, I guess I got to open this and, learn how to solder and put this all back together. And yeah, but I still believe it's still true. They don't make them like they used to.
Decepticon's Cave of Villains. PS2 was fun to work on. They had parts where if you put on your DVD port, it would rip and tear the connection and you couldn't use it again.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
What? So let's get back on track here real quick.
Yeah.
What was for you? We're gonna get a list. We're gonna get a list of at least 10. Think about like 10 games.
Mm-hmm.
If you got to cheat, go ahead. Doesn't matter. What would have been your top 10 choices on Nintendo?
Oh, geez. Okay. Off the top of my head, Mario 1, 2, 3. But if I had to pick one, it would be Mario 3. Because I guarantee you that game probably has Skyrim numbers easily. Metroid, Mike Tyson's Punch Out, any one of the Turtle games, those were always awesome. Oh, what else? What else we got going on here? There's actually too many to go through off the top of my head, but Zelda, like anything Zelda. Oh, what else was there? Battletoads. Yeah, it's tough. I'm actually gonna have to look at my collection and literally try to narrow all this down based on what you guys are suggesting. This is gonna take a little bit of homework, but anything you guys have already thrown out there, they would easily make a top list. Absolutely.
So if I had to, Super Mario Brothers 3,
Mm-hmm.
Legend of Zelda, Castlevania 3.
Oh, good call. Good call.
3 was always my favorite. Dragon Warrior,
Beauty.
Final Fantasy, the original, DuckTales, because I didn't get to play 2 and 3 on SNES or on an NES back then. I didn't get to play 2 or 3 until we had the translated ports from Japan.
Yeah.
So Contra's got to be on there. Excite Bike. I was thinking maybe RC Pro-Am, but
that was so much fun.
Ninja
Gaiden or Gaiden, whichever you prefer. Bart versus the Space Mutants. Yeah, good luck with those jumping mechanics. Yeah.
What about Metroid?
Metroid. Yeah, I love Metroid, but you know what? Sometimes, like, if you know what you're doing, you could probably fly through that in about an hour. But to pick it up all these years later, I'd probably get lost so easily because there's no maps unless you look it up. You know, but still classic because it's one of those, you know, learn how to think outside the box, kid, because we're not holding your hand here.
Metal Gear,
Batman. Batman was really good. Really badass soundtrack too. Sunsoft made a lot of games that had kick-ass soundtracks.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Star Tropics. I like the complicated ones.
Yeah. Speaking of complicated, DJ Ronnie G says he can successfully land and refuel in Top Gun.
That's amazing.
I think 99 times out of 100, I'm going to fail both of those without a doubt. So my hat's off to you, buddy. You got some skills.
What about Pac Xanadu?
Oh, it's okay. But I honestly don't think I'd be putting it on a top 10 list. Maybe top 30, it could make the cut there. But even so, I'd probably have to go through the collection and narrow that down. Because NES had some big competition for, you know, a top list of all time.
Chrysalis has to make it in there.
Sure. Crystallis? Yeah, absolutely. Who owned the NES with Super Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt on one cartridge? I did. Still got it. And
I had the one with the Power Pad.
Yeah. Oh, World Class Track Meet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God. You know what? Do you still have the set of those?
No.
No?
Unfortunately not.
Because those will fetch you a pretty price online.
Oh, I imagine.
Oh yeah.
I remember my dad would sneak in and pop me in the back of my head if I had my shoes on that thing.
Oh.
Take your shoes off.
But Dad, I'm running track.
I know. Take your damn shoes off while you're doing that, boy. You're going to ruin it. Didn't spend all that money on that just for you to tear it up.
But Dad, people don't high jump in their bare feet. Or do they? I know they don't hurdle in bare feet or with socks on. Who the hell runs track in just a pair of socks? It was all about making it real.
What about Super C?
Super C, yeah. Super C was cool to follow up Contra there.
Contra.
I mean, Contra's still the OG badass there for those. Oh, DJ Ronnie G, you got ripped off. That came out after all the parents were complaining about the gray one, which I have. Don't ever get rid of those if you still got it. And if you've got a CRTV, because that damn thing doesn't work on any modern television at all.
No, does not work on flat screens.
Yeah, but just hang on to that regardless, because it's still badass looking.
Does not work on flat screens.
Unfortunately.
There's CRTVs are making a big comeback because there's a lot of people doing like arcade retrofits.
Right.
And they want that CRTV. They do not want a flat screen.
Yeah,
and I don't blame them. I mean, you
sure.
can get your USB hooked up and do like the new custom cades are really neat. I'm not gonna rail on them. When you have a 64-inch arcade screen in front of you, I mean, yeah, you gotta love that.
Oh yeah.
But if you could trade that for the old CRTV, I'm gonna trade that for the old CRTV.
Oh hell yeah. I mean, that was the best way to play those things as they were meant to be played. 480p never looked so good. especially through an RF switch wired into your cable box. Oh yeah. Oh God, so many good times.
Super C had those bottom up commando levels that split up the side scroll. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I loved. That's what I loved.
Yeah, those were really cool. Contra had those too. They kind of had like those mini boss fights in there where you actually go into like a 3D type environment. You got to like shoot the thing at the end of the hallway or whatever. Those are really nice. Still kind of tricky, but those sections I found a hell of a lot easier than actually doing the side scrolling portions.
So there is a new app called Antstream Arcade.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually starting it right now. Give me just a second. Because I was playing something on there the other day that the NES version is almost horrible because it's not like the arcade version.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes
a Smash TV.
Smash TV. Oh, I do have that one too. Hard as
okay. You could win a car.
I remember. Yeah, I never won cars. I probably won about 84 toasters every time I played that one. I've won a new toaster. Yeah.
Or VCR.
Yeah.
You get a VCR.
Yeah,
Akari
VCRs
Warriors.
and toasters. Good luck. You'll need it. Akari Warriors. It was cool, but man, was that game so freaking slow.
There was a martial arts game, and it's probably not on any list. I'm going to see if I can find it. But there was this martial arts game. NES game.
River City Ransom. Bayou
Dragon.
Billy. With dragons?
And it wasn't Dragon Warrior.
Was it Renegade?
It wasn't Double Dragon.
No. Fist of the Dragon. Shinobi was Sega Genesis.
Dragon Quest, Dragon Spirit, Double Dragon.
Big money, big prizes.
Dragon War, big money, big prizes. It may have been Dragon Power, Dragon Fighter.
Maybe.
I don't know. Dragon War.
It's tough. There were so many.
It wasn't Dragon Lair. Flying Dragons. That's what it was called. Okay, so this is like Power Rangers before Power Rangers ever existed. Except
Pardon me,
that
I just lost my headset.
So Flying Dragons was like Power Rangers before Power Rangers ever existed.
Mm-hmm.
It was, you are this martial arts guy and you find out that you are like one of the chosen 5 to have these special powers, and you have to go and you have to basically like go into hell and fight Satan. It was really weird, and they made a sequel on Super Nintendo, but it was nothing like the original. It went from this like RPG fighting game to a side scroller, like Ninja Turtles. Yeah,
that's pretty wild.
A Dega Outlaw, big money, big prizes. I love it.
I loved it too. It was tough as shit though, with that Ricardo Montalban lookalike in there. It was good times. It was a lot of good times. It was much better with 2 people. Much better.
And yes, Captain Spire, Flying Dragon, the Secret Scrolls. Yes, the Secret Scrolls.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a good game, though. I really liked it. I loved the shit out of that game. I always wanted a better sequel. And when I found out they were doing a Super Nintendo sequel, I lost my shit. And then I played it, and I was like, no, okay, no.
Yeah.
Who remembers the list of games at GameStop before it was GameStop, the trade-in newspapers they had?
That's kind of hard for me to remember because we didn't have a whole lot of stores like that over here back then. used to have to rely on a lot of the secondhand shops that sold a lot of stuff like that. We never really were big into, official game stores or anything back then until they, I guess, just started taking off themselves as the decades went on by.
Keely Chow asked a serious question.
What are your thoughts of Power Rangers being in Star Wars? Well, you know what? The Ninja Turtles were in Power Rangers, so I guess nothing's off limits anyway. So, hey, have at it. Why not? Let's just, we'll grit our teeth, rub our hands together, and say, let's see how crazy this can get.
But girls aren't in gaming.
No, that's sexist. Hey, you know what's sexist? Mrs. Pac-Man gets to be called Mrs. and Pac-Man is just called Pac-Man. That is sexist. Pac-Man deserves a title as well.
Book of Soul Assassin still wants an N64 mini to happen. Not gonna happen.
No, I predict Elder Scrolls 6 will be out before that ever comes out. Yeah, so if you got the original hardware, just hang on to it. That'll be as close as it gets.
Dragon Warrior was what Dragon Quest became, yes.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Go ahead. Sorry.
We always got to pause for Loki breaking into song. He's his own Broadway show, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
You know what's funny? Because I was looking at, they made a lot of the Dragon Warrior / Dragon Quest games on, the handhelds like 3DS and shit like that. But man, good luck trying to find any of those on the cheap these days because they command ridiculous prices. Absolutely ridiculous.
You know what? I remember you could get, because I had one of these. I don't remember where the hell I got it, but it was a Super Nintendo cartridge that had like 100 Nintendo games on it. This was obviously not sold by Nintendo. Yeah. This was someone homebrewing that shit. You just go through a list and pick this was when I was a kid. Yeah. This was not something you see now. Like I've got a couple really cool cartridges. One of them I've got like all the first 6 Final Fantasy games on one Super Nintendo cartridge. I've got I've got a collection of all the best fighting games that were on Super Nintendo on one Super Nintendo cartridge. And they're cool. They've got like green skin, white skin. My Final Fantasy is white. The fighting one is green. I've got another one. No, the combat collection is black, and it's got Street Fighter, Final Fight, or Fatal Fury, Mortal Kombat. It's got a whole bunch of them on it. Yeah. And then I've got Secret of Mana and Trials of Mana, and it's on a blue see-through cartridge. Ooh. Now, of course, these are homemade. These are not OG cartridges.
Oh yeah, they'd have to be.
But they're beautiful. So I was like, you know what? I want them. So I bought them because they're absolutely beautiful cartridges.
And yes, Waffles. They did mention Tecmo Bowl. Don't worry, we got that.
But that's now. That's something that's done now. This was God. I don't even think I was a teenager yet.
Yeah. It's especially done now, especially in they're a lot more mass produced than they used to be back then. Because I think, because when you think about it back then, if you got those big, flash cards with all the games on there back then, a lot of those homebrews, like the third-party companies that did those sort of things, they hadn't quite yet really figured out how the original hardware worked. Because there were plenty of horror stories going out there where people would keep these, multi-carts in their system playing for, 1 or 2 hours, and then it totally fried their system or the cartridge because they couldn't quite figure out how to get the circuitry working. Depends on where you go. Sometimes there's still horror stories like that kicking around today. But with everybody, ripping up and tearing these things down to figure out how they work, they're a little more easier to come by. But yeah, it's hard to imagine coming across something like that way back in the day. Not that we're that old, but imagine seeing something like that as a kid. Think, wow, 300 games for the price of one.
Yeah.
Like how cool. And not that not the Action 52 shit.
No. Captain Spire, remember the Sony to PC converter Bleem? I do indeed, because I had it. Worked flawlessly playing PlayStation games on the PC, even better than the PlayStation. Of course, Sony squashed it.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, how sad is that? Azaj says they needed an NES USFL game. I think the closest thing you could get to that would probably be NES Play Action Football. It used like real official NFL teams with real players, but they didn't, you couldn't really tell at all. But yeah, that was way back in the day. That might be as close as you get to something like that. I think there was 8 teams in that game total, and fighting against the AI is bullshit. You'll never win. Especially if you were playing against Chicago and their bone-crushing defense. It was nigh impregnable.
You want to read that?
Eldritch is asking, who is the sluttiest woman in gaming? Ms. Pac-Man. For a quarter, she will eat 1,000 some odd balls. Yeah, and just for a quarter.
Just for one quarter.
Yeah, but she still gets to be called Mrs. Pac-Man.
Original gold Zelda, Legend of Zelda cartridges still look great. They do.
Absolutely. Yep. And it's because everybody who comes across those now is like, oh, it's the gold cart. It's worth like a lot of money.
Oh my God.
It's like, yeah, you know what? You can go into a secondhand shop that specializes in selling old Nintendo games. They'll sell it to you for $15.
It's the yellow, and it's an ugly ass mustard yellow.
Yeah.
That is the prototype one that made the rounds.
Mm-hmm.
It is not the gold cartridge that is worth a shitload of money. It is the ugly ass mustard yellow cartridge.
Yeah, I'll tell you what else, folks, if you don't know this, but if any of you happen to come across or own any of the gray colored cartridge Zelda games, those ones are actually really hard to come by as well. So if you got your hands on any of those, hold on to those, because those are a lot more rare than the gold ones portray themselves to be. Because the gold ones were mass produced because they wanted it to look, special and fantastic and alluring like treasure. And rightfully so, because it was a big ass treasure hunt. Nobody knew what the hell they were doing. Unless you had the power.
Unless you had the power.
Or call that silly hotline. So, Loki, to summarize our list here, because I don't know about you, but I know I'm going to have to go back and rewatch this show.
Yes.
Maybe give you some more watch minutes while we're at it. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to go back and compile a list. So if there are any last minute games you guys can think of, throw them out there now, and we'll do a tally, and we'll just compile this list throughout the week, and maybe next week or the week after we will go through and relive our fantasies and horrors from our childhood.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be great. It's going to be fun.
Let's go dig up some landfill. Yes.
Hell yeah. That we got enough.
Spy Hunter.
Star Soldier.
Star Soldier.
That's one Soldier. Yeah. Oh God, what was that one? I forget. I'm pretty sure I have it, but I don't remember what the hell it was. Man, yeah, too many classics to mention. We may have to do a 2-parter on NES alone, but that's all right. We'll start small. Ladies and gentlemen, because there's a lot of ground to cover.
And we're not doing multiple of the same thing.
Yeah, it'll have to be like one game of your choosing from each franchise.
Willow. Friday the 13th.
Oh, yay. Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
I gotta tell you, fighting a purple Jason in Friday the 13th was phenomenal. Yeah, that was great. Rad Racer. Which one? One or two? One or two? The original? The one you could play in 3D if you have a pair of those glasses. How cool was that? Yeah, man.
Like we're not going and playing multiple Dragon Warriors.
Oh, God, no. We don't have the hours in the week for that. No. We can do the original.
Oh, yeah.
If you know your way around. Way cool, man.
I'm leaving sports games out of it.
Yeah, we don't need to be doing those. Those are a whole other thing. You know what's funny? The funniest thing about Dragon Warrior, you go and you fight this dragon and you save the princess. But to complete the game, you don't even have to save the princess. You can just leave her there to die. How friggin' wild is that?
Rygar.
Yeah, you know what? If you can get that game to run and finish it in one playthrough where the game doesn't just crash or soft lock the hell out of you, then yeah, it's definitely worth doing. But that game is infamously glitchy. Blaster Master. There's
Blaster
another.
Master.
That was probably the closest thing to a Metroidvania next to the actual Metroid.
Yes, they did find the mass grave.
They did.
ET games.
Yeah, it was a true story. They actually dug it up and found all the copies just buried in there. It was pretty wild. It's crazy when you think about it.
There was a way to glitch past the problem with that game.
In Rygar?
No, in ET.
In ET, yeah.
There was a way to glitch past it because I remember I did it, and I remember I made it to the little spaceship and got beamed up.
ET phone home.
I did beat ET back in the day when I was a kid.
Wow. Which is also funny when you think about games way back then being able to be completed, you know, when it wasn't just about getting a high score or anything like that. It's pretty crazy.
Whatever it is, you could do it quick. I mean, you did it in under like 5 minutes. You sat down, you did the glitch, and then boom, made it right to the spaceship and you got out.
Yeah.
It was really, really quick. And it was the only way you could do it. I remember that. I remember it was the only way you could beat the game. And as far as I knew, you know, back in the day, because I didn't know any of that shit happened. I was a kid. I just thought that was the way you beat the game.
Yeah.
This is the way you beat the game. You do this, you go into the next screen, you blah, 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 and then boom, you get to the ship and you beat the game.
Yeah.
And apparently that is not what you were supposed to do.
It's like everything we knew was wrong. But could you imagine like how infamous that game is for being bad anyway, even though I still think there's worse. But could you imagine going out buying that game and then finding out somehow through somebody at school or whatever that you go along all this time thinking that's how you were legitimately supposed to beat the game, and you're thinking, my dad just bought this for $50 and I just beat it in 5 minutes. That is such a fucking ripoff. Even though that wasn't the way you were supposed to do it. But man, how crazy that would have been. That would have pissed me off as a kid.
Raiders of the Lost Ark was the hardest game I remember playing on the 2600.
Yeah. Because you had to actually, I mean, was that intended to be a 2-player game? Because I know you had to use the 2 controllers to beat it or to even play the game. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken.
This is why we are not starting on Atari.
Yeah.
Because I can't. It would be like 5 minutes and I'm done.
Yeah. Well, because that's your typical playthrough time of like Asteroids or some shit like that anyway. Or Pac-Man or anything like that.
So we're going to start with NES. Guys, thank you so much for your suggestions. We are going to compile our list and we will be back next week to tell you what we think of those games. We'll have a list of what we played through. We'll try not to overlap, but I'm sure there's going to be some stuff that we both want to play.
But it'll be okay. It'll all be worth it.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
We're getting out of here. Right, we will be back. We're going to have a movie watch party on Discord. We're going to be watching Aliens later today.
Sorry, last one. It's all you get.
We're going to be watching Aliens later today, and we're going to have a members stream right after that on this channel before we get into Taco Tuesday. So if you can make it on the Discord, we will be playing that movie at 4 p.m. and we will probably have our members stream at 7. After that, that'll give me at least time to jump up, grab a drink, and
chill out.
Have everything set up and chill out. So from 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, we'll be watching Aliens, and then we'll have a member stream as soon as that ends. So we'll talk about it. Yeah. Invite y'all up on the panel.
It's going to be good times.
Anything else you got going on, brother?
No, I just want to say thank you again for all tuning in this morning. You had some great suggestions, and I will be rewatching this. I don't know if she's still here. No, I don't know, but that's okay. Thank you all very much for your suggestions and your participation. You guys are absolutely awesome. And we
Central.
Yes, Central.
Sorry.
Agent Atwood. So thank you all once again so very much. I love getting to hang out with you guys every Monday morning on your 0 hour. It's your show, guys. Y'all hold the keys here. Thank you so much. And
Everybody
if I don't see you before then, I'll see you next week when we recap our childhood.
That's right. Everybody take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend Danner, and we will catch you guys next time on 0 hour.
Brie Larson sucks.
Yep.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.
Donkey